Alright, hi guys, this is Mr. Bernay. We're going to go over your area and perimeter homework from yesterday, the word problem. And I'm looking for a few things here. Number one, I want you to write if you're finding the area, which remember we said meant covering a surface, or are you looking for the perimeter, which means are you going around the object. Number two, I want you to answer all questions with complete sentences that restate the question asked. So we're using our race strategy here. I want to see a formula. I want you to show me substitution, solve, and use correct labels. So let's take a look at number one with that in mind. Number one says, a farmer needs to buy fencing to go around his garden. The garden is a 20 by 15 foot rectangle. How much fencing will be needed? So what I like to do first is think about, am I solving for area or am I solving for perimeter? So the farmer needs to buy fencing. That's the key word here. So we know that fencing is something that goes around a yard. So we know that we're going to use the formula for perimeter because we want to go around. So let's write, I like to draw a picture. So here is the garden that the farmer wants to build a fence around. So we have a 20-foot section and a 15-foot section. And remember, our formula for perimeter is perimeter of a rectangle. We want to add side 1 to side 2 to side 3 plus side 4. So we have side 1 and side 2. Well, we know that the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So this side is going to be 20 and this side is going to be 15. Okay, so if we have our formula, that's step 1. We wrote the formula. Now we need to show our substitution. So perimeter is going to equal 15 plus 20 plus 15 plus 20. Alright, and that adds up to 20 plus 20 is 40, 15 plus 15 is 30, so that adds up to 70. Perimeter equals 70. So I've written the formula, I've shown my substitution, I've solved. Now I need to use the correct label. And remember, when we're doing perimeter, we just need the label feet. Okay? We are not multiplying, so we don't need square feet. Just 70 feet worth of fence. So lastly, we're going to answer with a complete sentence, restating the question asked. So what was the question? The question was, how much fencing will be needed? So I will say 70 feet of fencing will be needed. Alright, very good. Number 2. Miss Thomas bought a rectangular rug that was 2 feet long by 3 feet wide. What is the area of the rug? Now again, first thing we want to think of, are we covering a surface or are we going around a surface? Well, it's a rug, so it's going to cover the surface of a floor. We are covering. We want to find the area. First thing we need to do, write the formula. Well, the formula for area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. Now remember, cheat sheet book page 36 will help you here. So our area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. We know we have a rectangle. Let me draw the picture again. That has a width of 3 feet and a length of 2 feet. Now it really doesn't matter what the order is here, because you're just multiplying the numbers, and remember, when you multiply numbers, the order does not matter. So 3 times 2 is the same thing as saying 2 times 3. So for this, let's rewrite and show substitution. So we have 3 times 2 is equal to our area. 3 times 2 is 6. So our area here equals 6. Okay, so we've solved it. Let's use correct labels here. We have square feet because we're finding area. That's the proper label. Alright, let's restate our question. What is the area of the rug is our question. So I'm going to write the area of the rug is 6 square feet. And there you have it. Alright, number 3. Mr. Dodson wants to fence in his yard. His yard is a triangular shape and is 8 feet by 10 feet by 15 feet. How much fencing will he need? Now again, first thing you think of, are we covering or are we going around? Well, we are going around because it's a fence. Okay, so we are going to use the perimeter formula. Perimeter for a triangle is just side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, because triangles of course have 3 sides. So here's our triangle, and the area that he wants to fence in is 8 feet by 10 feet by 15. So those are the lengths of our sides. That's the length of the yard sides. So I've written the formula. Now we just need to plug in the numbers. We have 10, 8, and 15. So our perimeter is equal to 10 plus 8 plus 15. So 10 plus 8 is 18, plus 15 is 33. 33. Perimeter is equal to 33. And we need to use our proper labels here. And remember, perimeter, we don't need to do square feet or square yards in this case. Or sorry, feet. We don't need to do square feet because we are not multiplying. So the perimeter of his yard is 33 feet. So how much fencing will he need? Let's restate the question. He will need 33 feet of fencing. He will need 33 feet of fencing. Alright. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 says Sarah wants to buy wood to make a frame for her picture. Her picture is 12 inches by 10-inch rectangle. What is the total length of the wood strip she will need for her project? Alright, so again, question we want to ask ourselves first, are we going around or are we covering? So in this case it's a frame, so we are going around. Frame. So we want to solve for a perimeter because we are going around. Alright, so let's write our formula out. The shape of her frame is going to be a rectangle. So the formula for perimeter of a rectangle is side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. And it might seem a little bit much to write out the formula each time, but writing out the formula each time is going to make sure that you have the process down and that you're doing it correctly. So I would recommend that you write the formula down each time and then plug in the numbers. So we have a rectangle. It says the rectangle is 12 by 10. That's enough information because we know that the opposite side of the rectangle is going to be equal. So here the opposite side is 10, 10, 12, 12. Okay, so let's do 10 plus 10 plus 12 plus 12. 10 plus 10 is 20. 12 plus 12 is 24. So that gives us 44. 44. So let's restate, and that's in feet. Sorry, inches. 44 inches. So we have our correct label there. Next we have to restate the question, answer all parts. What is the total length of the wood strips you will need? The total length is 44 inches. Easy as that. Alright, let's look at number 5. Number 5 says a certain wall is 13 feet by 9 feet. a can of paint will cover 50 square feet. Will it be enough? And it says to explain. Alright, so this problem is a little bit different. So let's see if it will be enough. So the question that we want to answer is, are we covering or going around here? We are covering. Okay, because we are painting a surface. Alright, so we want to solve for area. So it says a certain wall is 13 feet by 9 feet. Well, that is a rectangle. 13 by 9. Remember, our area formula for a rectangle is length times width. Okay. So what it's asking you here is, it's saying that a can of paint will cover 50 square feet. It's wanting to know, is this area here greater or less than 50 feet? Is this can of paint going to be enough to cover this entire wall? Because we're covering, we're figuring out the area. So let's figure it out. Area, length times width. We have our length and our width here. 13 times 9. I like to do it up and down. 13 times 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 is 11. So, there's our answer. We have 100 and, I'm going to write it up here, 117 square feet. Okay, that's the size of our wall. So the question asks, square feet. The question asks, a can of paint will cover 50 square feet. Will it be enough? No, it will not be enough. Our wall is 117 square feet, so one can of paint will not be enough, because that only covers 50 square feet, and our wall is bigger than that. So we're going to say one can of paint is not enough to cover a wall that has an area of 117 square feet. One can of paint is not enough to cover a wall that has an area of 117 square feet. Alright, sorry about the sloppy handwriting there. Okay. Alright, and the last problem on this page says the Leckworth family wants to put tile on their bathroom floor. Each square is 1 square foot. Okay, so that's a common tile size. The bathroom is 5 feet by 7.5 feet. How many tiles will be needed? Alright, so this is a real life problem. So first thing we need to know, are we covering or are we going around? We're covering because we're putting in a floor. So the formula for covering and a floor is just a rectangle or a square, a floor. The formula for the area of a rectangle or a square is length times width. Okay, and we have our length and our width, 5 feet by 7.5 feet. Alright, so let's do that multiplication. We have a fraction, but we're not going to let that throw us off. So let's do 5 times 7.5. So let's convert this to an improper fraction. So let's have 5 over 1 times 7 times 2 is 14 plus 1 is 15. We have 5 over 1 times 15 over 2. So now we can just multiply straight across. 5 times 15 is 75 over 2. 75 over 2 is